Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Fire Emblem Path of Radiance Footlock playthrough. In this episode we'll be taking on Chapter 5, Flight. A little bit interesting that it's called Flight, considering that we have no idea who the woman from the last episode was, even though the game told us her name was Elincia. But still, story-wise, we have no idea who she is at this moment. And it seems everybody's standing around a bit more on guard today. Interesting. And now she's awake, so let's go greet our guest, indeed. While this is going on and we learn about Elincia and how she is the daughter, in secret, of King Ramon, one of the things I want to talk about that spurred this was actually the fact that I just see mounted units, especially in Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, rated super highly. And one of the reasons for that is Kanto, and to that I gotta say, it's really useful in these games. Take advantage of it. However, I really wanted to see how hard we could push the difficulty, and if using only foot units was really that much harder. I personally don't believe it's going to be that much harder, but that's just me. After all, almost every class, there's almost some way to use every weapon type from every class. And various classes have their own advantages. Plus, I think class identity is a more fun thing to have, rather than just overall juggernauts. In the sense of just all-around good characters. Then again, some people might beg to differ. I'm not sure. High movement's also a thing that you could argue for or against. I'm not for it. I'm not against it either. Still, there are a couple of chapters where I will mention having mounted units really helps. One of the ones that immediately comes to my mind is Chapter 12. Also, now it's nighttime. I have a request. And there's soldiers outside. Interesting. Everyone's there. Turn over the Princess of Crimea or leave the area immediately. Comply now or we will attack. Pretty straightforward. So, it seems Daein caught wind that Princess Crimea was there. Interesting. I didn't think... Well, actually we did have some survivors from the last chapter. Those two archers are probably being killed right now by whoever their boss is, based on how tyrannical Daein seems to be. Interesting. Meanwhile, everybody's outlook is coming to light here. Despite people asking basically who should we side with, Daein's gonna make the answer pretty clear for us here in a moment. Which is a bit sad. They weren't even gonna keep their promise. So, yeah, that's that. I'm gonna hand Boyd the hand axe that we got a couple chapters ago now, since we're finally gonna have everybody back. Hooray! And Grail's decision is going to escort the princess, which is interesting. And choice was taken out of their hands. There's nothing. And yep. Bit of silence in all of the directions. But the bugs are silent too. That's unnatural beyond belief, which means we're surrounded. They already decided to attack. That's funny. We're not so naive and experienced to fall in their trap. This is one of the few points where I'll say Grail is a badass. Also, this map introduces Fog of War, one of the worst mechanics in Fire Emblem in my honest opinion. And Grail's gonna hold up the rear, while Ike takes care of the front. I'll give it a shot, indeed. They sniffed our plan, did they? It's not like you guys had a very good plan in the first place, but whatever. I'll need something special, if you say so. In the fort, flying arrows to try and smoke them out. We might bring the princess to harm. Alive and uninjured. Interesting. Slay everybody but the princess. That's not good. Okay then. First off, let us reposition some characters. Titania, you are again relegated to Pack Mule. Gotcha, I want you going up this side, especially owning Shinon. I think that's for the best. Boyd... I actually don't remember who should be up front. But I do know someone should be over there, and Reese should be relatively close as well. But I think his starting space is perfectly fine. Ike... I can't change your position, but yeah. Ike's inventory is fine. Boyd, where are you? Trade with Soren for this hand axe. I want to make sure I trade with Shinon, because you definitely want the archer band more. Axes are very inaccurate, so having extra skill doesn't hurt. Oh, right, I forgot to talk about stats. HP is pretty simple. It's an offensive part of RPGs, but it exists for a reason. It is basically determine how healthy a character is. Pretty straightforward. It is your gauge of life and death. Strength, also pretty straightforward. How strong a character is. If they wield physical weapons, it is what is used to determine your attack strength. Minus your enemy's defense, and so on, which is physical side of things. Magic and resistance tied to each other. Magic is how strong your magical attacks will be, like what Soren uses. And resistance will determine how much damage you get shaved off from magical attacks. Skill is one of the few stats that's very awkward, and it's a little misleading. While it's true that skill determines the grade of the unit's hit percentages, that's also tied to luck as well, albeit luck is quite a bit lower on that for a good reason. But the other thing to know is the higher your unit's skill, the higher the chance they have to critical hit as well. Speed, also straightforward. How many times a unit will strike in a single attack. Also a bit misleading. Speed's used to determine two things. Avoid, meaning how likely your character is going to dodge an attack. Higher your void is generally better, as you can probably guess. And in order to double attack, your attack speed, which is your speed minus your weapon weight, if you don't have enough strength, will be what your attack speed is. It needs to be at least, I believe the number in this game is 4 points. It might be 5 points higher than your opponent's attack speed. Luck, as it says, it affects many different things. The primary thing is the higher your luck, the less likely you'll take critical hits, which is always a good sign. I believe 1 point of luck also contributes to 1 point of hit and 1 point of avoid as well, so keep that in mind, but it's not as important as speed or skill by any stretch. And that covers everybody's stats. Definitely going to want to use the speed wing on Boyd. I also think because of how much damage he's going to have to tank. Where is it? Titania, hand over the elixir to Boyd as well, instead of the vulnerary. And I'll give Ike the extra vulnerary on Titania just to hand it over to Boyd once he uses the speed wing. Or no, I can put it on Soren instead, just to keep inventory slots clear. Yeah, that's a better idea. Meanwhile, let's see how much I can pack mule, if need be. I think everybody should be fine as it stands. Add the bonus steel axe on Reese, so that should help. Other than that, let's save. And let's begin flight. Pretty straightforward. Let's get started. Now, I claim Fog of War was awful. Here's why. Yep. You can't see crap until you're in the enemy's range. Ugh. That is the primary reason I hate Fog of War. In the meantime, Gotri, move here. Void, move over here. Right, I said I would use a speed wing on you. So, let's increase your speed. Trade. You're probably going to need the vulnerary void. Soren. Maybe you'll get an adept trade. That'd be nice. Nope, no adept trigger. Unlucky. And you can go right here for the moment. Titania, just sit tight there, and Oscar, head back over here for the moment. In the meantime, Fog of War is just generally not that great of a mechanic. It limits your visibility and you can't see all the enemies, so you never know how much damage you're going to have to try and tank. Generally not a huge fan of it. And it's probably the worst mechanic on trying to make a map difficult, in my opinion. I'd much rather have something like better enemy placement without it being hidden from the player. That's my personal view. Ow, Boyd. Poor Boyd. In the meantime, nice dodge, Boyd. And way to pick up that kill. However, more soldiers. Youch. I hope Boyd's strength grows up a couple of times in this chapter, as his strength is lagging a bit more than I thought it would. Then again, I am also playing on difficult, so the stat thresholds are a bit higher. Oh yeah. Soren, just deal with this dude. This speed also would be nice to go up, so that way I don't have to drop more stat boosters into Boyd. In the meantime, though, this should help out Boyd a lot. Yeah. Reese, level up. Oh, Reese is the other character I probably should have put a band on. Oh well. Nice job, Reese. I was not expecting you to gain speed without the help of a band. In the meantime, this iron axe is going to go straight into this guy's face. I'm going to axe you a question. Meanwhile, Ike... he has 25 HP, so I think I'm actually just better off leaving the Regal Sword equipped and just waiting the turn. Battery, I mean, it doesn't matter that much. I am going to kill the dude with a hammer at the very least because I believe it's droppable. Yeah. So, steel bow this dude. And then Gotri should have enough accuracy with an Iron Lance especially to get him. The hammer deals effective damage to armored units, as you may have seen there by the fact that it was glowing. I don't think you guys have anything else that's droppable. I think I will have Titania just come up briefly just to get the hammer off of him, as it's kind of important to have that. And then I'm going to have her move out of enemy range. I want it for the next chapter, and I don't think I'm going to have a good opportunity to get anybody else over to pick it up at the moment, so for now, I'm just going to do it like that. Also, I think Shinon's no longer going to be targeted for a while, and it's going to be all Gotri. At least for that side, which I do not mind. Gotri could probably take on most of this by himself. Especially helped by the fact that he's so freaking tanky, as he's barely going to take any damage. He might end up just shoving some vulneraries into him for the next couple of bits. As a result, level up Gotri. Okay, that's solid. Nice dodge. I do not expect Gotry's speed to go up as often as it has. Normally it stays pathetically low for a very long time. Ike. Youch. Meanwhile, thank the Lord I did not... Oh, wow, crit. I was not expecting that. I was about to say, thank the Lord I did not attack last turn. Because I was expecting him to not die. Well, okay. Fairly good level up. I like it. Although I might end up needing to give that angelic robe to Ike at this rate. Wow. Crit. Very nice. If I could dodge, that would also be helpful. Very nice. That, however, is just natural kill. Ike is definitely in some trouble. Sword rank level up again. I think Ike is going to soon cap his sword rank until he promotes again. Or until he promotes, I should say. Boyd. Youch. Meanwhile, I think the AI is going after Boyd, largely because it doesn't want to eat Regal Sword boosted damage. Okay, that's solid. I could have used more speed, but the extra strength at least means that you're not suffering speed penalties anymore. Ouch. Huh. Well, I was kind of hoping Boyd could double, but I guess not. Javelin. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to do that much. Meanwhile, so many enemies crowding in front of Ike. Alright, let's start with Reese over here, as that'll be useful. You have a little too much HP, I think. Ike... Yeah, one Regal Sword hit should do the job. Shinon, just kill this dude. I'm not doing the speedrunning LTC style strategy where you just meat shield. I actually want to maximize my EXP gain. Although I think LTCers will also maximize the EXP gain, as this is a chapter where you have to survive a certain number of turns. There's no way to speed up the process. Not even killing the boss sends the map right away. Boyd, just get in a solid attack. I think he should have enough HP to survive through next turn. Gotry, check a vulnerary, and we're good to go. I'll move Titania back to the starting square, and we'll go from there. Enemy phase. This soldier's gonna keep regenerating his HP. And attacking Gotry. Ow. That's not good. I prefer if you guys didn't attack Reese, but at the very least that means Ike is safe. Unfortunately, it also means I have to put more pressure on Boyd. Who's... Ooh, very nice. Going to have some work to do. Meanwhile, Gotry, the incredible meat shield. And Boyd is just dodging like crazy. I have no regrets using that speed wing on him now. Very happy I did it. Although, I am a bit worried that he's going to be in death range at the end of this enemy phase. If he is, it's going to be a little bit awkward, as I think I'd probably have to move him, then heal him with Reese. But other than that, level up. By the way, level up Boyd. I think it should be okay. Boyd, get your speed to go up, please. I do not enjoy this curse. This is why I jokingly say the curse of Boyd. Boyd... I want to keep going down the hill, but I think it might be better just to have Boyd stay close to everybody, because I don't have, say, Titania to help out. Reese, move up here. Staff up Boyd. Which will increase his HP back to a reasonable level. Ike, I mean sword for the moment. And Soren, just do your job and hit this dude. That's really all I ask. I forget, but I believe I meant to say that mages also have reduced movement. Also level up Soren. Nice job, Soren. Soren might end up being a mainstay after all, which means my plans for the next 2 games will probably be thrown into a bit of a loop. But, that's for then. For now, let's end the turn. Moving on to enemy phase. And I'm fairly confident I could tank whatever I need him to, at the very least. As his defense and speed both went up pretty successfully. So, that's at least a good, helpful thing to know. Now, the other thing I'm worried about, as I move down here, is the boss of this map. There he is. Okay, so you have a javelin and the Ashera icon. So what I'm going to do, because I'm not particularly worried about these guys' HP, is I'm going to move the hand axe up to Boyd's top item, and I'm just going to leave the iron sword equipped. I am, however, I do, however, need to move Reese out of the way. Have him use that on Soren. I'm going to take a bit of a gambly risk. Just because I want to try and kill the boss for that Ashera icon, but we'll see. Yep. Way to go, Gautry. And here we go. All the tanking. Very nice. If I can't kill the boss, I'll probably end up just moving Ike and Boyd back. The Ashera icon increases luck, so it's not the most important stat. Oh, I should have healed up Ike with a vulnerary. Oops. Yeah, I might get punished for it. We'll see. Right now, it looks like I'm not. Mostly because Ike is being a frickin' tank. Boyd here. And they're supposed to be completely surrounded. Indeed. Whew. Okay. That makes me a bit happier. Knowing that Ike isn't dead. However, you have a bit too much HP. And I think trying to keep that defensive position is not going to work. So what I'm going to do... that spot is where I'm going to have Boyd move. And I'm just going to have him use this vulnerary. Meanwhile, Soren, I'll have you there just to score in the extra point of chip damage. Ike, I'm going to have you chug this vulnerary. Reese, can you heal anybody else up? Just gonna move you back then. Ike's the only other. Ike and Boyd are the only 2 characters that needed healing, and I think they should be fine with that. And I do not want you to die, which is kind of important. Gautry and Shinon, just hold still, and we'll be good to go. As that should be chapter over once this enemy phase is complete. I'm a bit surprised to see the enemies attacking Gautry because of Shinon's provoke, excuse me, but it's fine. Level up Godry. Let's see. That's more of what I was expecting. Yeah, Godry's okay. Again, he's not my favorite. Ow. Meanwhile... Ouch. I should have pulled the elixir off of Boyd. Anywho, level up Ike. Okay, it's reasonable. I would have liked to have seen his strength go up, but I'm perfectly fine with everything else except for strength going up, essentially. Also, thankfully tanky enough to actually start taking no damage from those guys. That's good. I wish there was one more turn, then I could have defeated him with basically no problems. Oh well. Meanwhile, this guy is not going to kill Ike, although he's going to get dangerously close. Who are these mercenaries? Anywho, Dakova makes an interesting choice to retreat. For the enemies of Daein now, definitely. Meanwhile, now that we've done that, no time to stay. So we're going to be packing things. And definitely going to be on our way to Gallia soon. Reese, pull the essential documents from the library and burn everything else. And Ike's in charge of Elincia. Go to the mess hall. Time will go by faster if you're helping Miss them rather than sitting around waiting for me. That's fair. Meanwhile, Princess is actually helping her pack, and she doesn't mind. Seems she didn't grow up in the royal castle. So she did cooking, cleaning, sewing. Sounds kind of nice, I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, Mrs. Right, I wouldn't have guessed by looking at her. What's that around her neck? Interesting. And interestingly, we have the Fire Emblem itself, Leiron's medallion. And it's actually starting to glow blue flames. And it's an incredible medallion. That thing is definitely holding some secrets, that is for sure. And Mrs. Right to wonder what that light means. Meanwhile, they got away. Right. Have you forgotten Daenerys' motto? Success or failure, life or death. Hey you, get this trash out of here. And no mercy. Surrounded by imbeciles, it seems. And Ina. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I'm gonna say Ina for the time being. Which way should we move to catch the girl? Or the mercenaries and the girl? We're going to be heading to Gallia. Friendship of those hairy devils, huh? Interesting. Whenever we get to the chapter where we actually fight Petrine, I'll bring up some interesting trivia on her, but for now, it's interesting to see her be so cynical. And she's doing her best to gather intelligence. Interesting. And Petrine's going herself. Just to hunt them down and kill them. I am General Petrine, eh? Haha. She's overestimating herself for sure. But yeah, that's chapter 5. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons, as well as hit the notification bell to stay up to date. I'll see you in the